Elden Ring's DLC is here. The world's gone Soulslike crazy once again, and we're here to populate your wishlist with more of the genre's best once you've toppled the Erd tree. Hello and welcome to ROG Global, where we celebrate PC gaming, unashamedly call in for help during boss battles in Elden Ring, and then scour the lands for more incredible Souls-like to play. Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erd Tree has revitalized a mutual love for massive health bars, complicated attack sequences, and enigmatic open worlds in us all. So this is the perfect time to talk about what else is great in the Souls-like genre on PC, outside the FromSoft canon. It should go without saying that as the inventors and perfecters of that genre, FromSoft's Dark Souls games and Elden Ring itself should be considered the very top of the ashen pile. But we figured since you're watching this video, you've probably heard of them, and played them, and finished them using a Guitar Hero controller. So sit back, grease up the joints on your suit of armor, and prepare to delve into 6 more scintillating Souls-likes. Pinocchio is the story of a wooden puppet crafted by a lonely carpenter who's given sentience, and whose nose grows whenever he lies. I'm not sure what it is about that premise that Lies of P developer Nioh saw and thought, yeah, do you know what? That would be absolutely perfect for a game about really hard boss fights and dodge rolls, but I'm glad they did. Putting a grim slant on the famous fairy tale, this fantastical Souls-like puts its spin on the genre with a weapon system that lets you combine different options to create a unique playstyle, all of them balletic and gorgeous and brutal, all at the same time. There's also a unique player choice mechanic around lies, appropriately enough, which injects some pretty heavy consequences into the world depending on how you interact with NPCs. Compared with this nightmarish world, suddenly a slightly bigger nose doesn't seem all that bad. The great thing about the evolution of Souls-likes as a genre is that it's moved away from simply imitating from software releases and crystallized a few essential elements around which a developer can build a totally new creative vision that feels fresh, but also reassuringly brutal and mysterious like a Souls-like should be. Nioh wanted to exemplify that particular phenomenon. Ninja Gaiden studio Koei Tecmo finds a framework for some spectacular samurai action with unique abilities and hordes of enemies to slash through. It's like Fruit Ninja, if the fruit was full of blood, or regularly turned up in giant form to absolutely destroy you in a boss fight, so nothing like Fruit Ninja actually. Both Niohs are excellent, but the most recent version of Nioh 2, 2021's Complete Edition, is the definitive way to play, featuring HDR monitor support on PC and frame rates of up to 120 FPS. So if you've got a high-performance gaming monitor like the ROG Strix and ROG Swift series, you'll see and feel the benefits in this version. What a strange, otherworldly experience Remnant 2 is. Not just because it takes place on a strange, other world, but because there's such a fascinating mashup of design sensibilities happening here. Procedural generation elements give the levels a roguelike feel, the art directions giving Destiny, and the first time you take damage from an enemy and watch your health bar deplete like your bank balance on payday, you realise that you're very much in a Souls-like game too. Is it still a Souls-like if there are sci-fi guns in it though? And what if the items and abilities you upgrade your character with actually tell you what they do when you examine them in the menu? An interesting philosophical point which we're far too busy questing through the unknown to answer. At first glance, it looks like a cute little indie where you might find talking animals and tend to a garden patch. But check your lease, buddy, because you're at death's door. Obviously, the visual style is a big differentiator here, but you should also give this a try if you like a blend of puzzling and ruthlessly demanding combat. The structure of Death's Door has been compared to Zelda games, navigating the environment using a wide variety of tools, unlocking new routes as you go. If you prefer to take your boss battle punishment in 16-bit form, developer Acid Nerve's previous game Titan Souls is very much part of the same genre and features visuals that'd be right at home on an early 90s console. Speaking of which... Did someone say visuals that'd be right at home on an early 90s console? Weird question to ask, of course, because it was me just then. But look, the point is, Blasphemous takes many Souls-like staples, bundles them into a time machine, and gives you a 2D side-scroller that feels like it could be part of the FromSoft canon. It isn't, of course, but developer The Game Kitchen is so good at the disturbing medieval imagery, the foreboding atmosphere, and the myriad secrets dotted around the Kingdom of Custodia that you could be forgiven for thinking you were playing a Dark Souls D-Master. Side-scrolling it may be, but linear it is not. Custodia is a massive, sprawling world that's been afflicted by a curse known as the Miracle, and the scraps you get into here are meaty and beautifully animated, culminating in executions that would make a Mortal Kombat character blush. A sequel arrived in 2023 too, bolstering the hours of pixelated penitence you can indulge in. A worthy retro spin on the genre, and one for anyone who likes Castlevania as much as they like Drangelic Castle. So far, we've covered a lot of titles that take the genre staples and turn them into something a bit left field. But what about games that simply offer more of the FromSoft-style Souls-like experience in pure, unadulterated form? What about games like Mortal Shell? As you can see, developer Cold Symmetry hasn't taken the brutal combat and boss fights and translated them into a children's fairy tale world, or shifted the camera perspective, or thrown in wildcard elements from other genres. It's home territory for Dark Souls players, essentially. The world's been shattered. What's left of humanity is withering and rotting away, the usual stuff. However, scattered around the ravaged landscapes are the fallen bodies of its former denizens, mortal shells, if you will. And as luck would have it, you can inhabit them to fight off the fanatical zealots who seem to be lurking around every Gothic spire. The shell system offers a nice twist on character creation, getting you to play different builds, playstyles, and items, and teaching you what they actually do in the process. Combat is particularly heavy and weighty here. Every blow lands in a way that puts a grin on your face. As long as you're the one landing it, of course. You've made it to the safety of this video's bonfire adventurer. Well done for making it through our 6 picks for the Souls-likes that you should try after the Elden Ring DLC is conquered. Subscribe to us at ROG Global for more like this, along with product reveals, news, and performance guides. Leave this video a like if you agree with our picks, and leave your own recommendations down in the comments. We'll catch you in another one.